biggest secret. And he told me more. Smile at me and that makes me love you. Then he made me laugh. And I knew it was a sign that he was a man that I wanted in my life. And I never remember feel more and more that way. He knows the feeling, and he accepts me. He never knows the real me, and he accepts me. He never hurts me.
Well, hello. Good morning, everyone. The funny part is that I realized that last week I bragged about the fact that it seems like this is, a every other week type of thing. But yeah, this topic really hit me last week, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to do it. So yeah, so thank you so much for those who are joining. Sheba Talk. I'm going to jump right into it. So basically, the topic this morning is stupid is as stupid does. Now, this came to me, like I said, just kind of randomly, and I ran with it. And so this is what it is. So anyway, so stupid is as stupid does. Now, I made a reference, of course, to Forrest Gump, which I would strongly suggest that if you have not seen that classic movie, that you should see it. Oh my goodness. It's like, I'm not a movie person, honestly. I just have a few of mine. I don't even watch TV, but Forrest Gump is hands down just one of my movies. And so anyway, so stupid is as stupid does. Now, please let me say this disclaimer that I'm not calling anyone stupid, but I thought it was very catchy. It would catch attention, obviously. And so let's talk about it, right? So to start off, I wanted to say that you are what you do. This is at the core of stupid is as stupid does, right? So you are what you do, not what you say, right? So I thought about this. I thought about a time, and maybe you can relate, or maybe you may not be able to relate, right? Have you ever, maybe had a situation with someone, and you can clearly feel, right? The energy is tense. It's real. It's thick. It's like, whoa, what's going on here, right? And you ask the person, are you upset? Are you angry? What's going on? Are we good? What's happening, right? And in spite of what you feel, in spite of what you know to be true about how the person is feeling, based upon what you feel, the energy, what you see, right? The person literally looks in your face and says, no, I'm not mad. No, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good. But you can clearly see, you can see it, you can feel it, that something is wrong here. The person is probably pissed off, right? Or maybe you've been that person, because that's been me, right? When I really was not in a place where I knew how to handle my emotions. And if, you build up this defense and you have this wall and you shun people and you push them away and, that type of thing. So I've been on both sides of the fence here. And the point of me saying all of that is to say, right, think about the dichotomy between what you say and what you do, or what you will do. Think about, the dichotomy between what you say you do or what you will do and what you actually do and are doing. I want to really, 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 really shed light on this. And I want to encourage you. I really want to empower you to close the gap, right, between what you say you do or what you will do. Remember, we always really, really always talk about our vision and our goals and, things that we want to accomplish, right, in comparison to what you're actually doing. Is there a difference? Is there a discrepancy? Is there a gap? So I want you to close the gap. I really want you to close the gap or work towards closing that gap. Because, as my dear friend Forrest Gump said, stupid is as stupid does. Which means that you are what you do, not what you say. So think about it, right? If you were to put this into a practical exercise and you wrote down the things that you say that you are doing or will do, put it on the left side of a piece of paper, right? And then on the right side, right, what you're actually doing. Is the left side, and I can almost bet you that the left side will be much more than the right side. Now, if you're anything like me, I'm a very visual person. I'm an artist, so I learn visually. That's like my greatest learning, that's the greatest way I learn, basically. And so sometimes, you can hear things and you can think that you're in a certain place and you're killing it, you're smashing it. But then when you write these things down and you see, you're like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Oh my God, what the heck am I doing for real? Like, what am I really doing with my life? Like, all jokes aside. Because one thing I know about people, right, is that we have this tendency to take life for granted. And it's just what we do. It's just what we do for whatever reason while we do it. But I want to empower you that as time moves forward, that your list that's on the left side, right, some of the things that you said you're going to do and you're doing, that it will begin to transfer to the right side. And that list, or the things, if I can say, the things that you say that you're actually doing them, right, that side of the paper will supersede the other side of the paper. I dare you, I triple dare you, I challenge you to close the gap. If you think about it, right, most of us live hold on. Right. Okay. So if you think about it, whenever there's a discrepancy between what you say and you do, you're a walking contradiction. And who can trust a walking, living, breathing contradiction? Seriously, who can trust you based upon what you do? In the time frame, and I was going to address that in a little bit later, but it came up now. But in the time frame in which you said that you would do it, right? So let me give you an example. I made up in my mind, right, because a few things was like really getting on my nerves. One of the things that was getting on my nerves is that this, I don't know what you even call it. It's something in me where I found myself chasing people, right, for their business and their service. And it hit one day, it hit me, Sheba, what are you doing, chick? What are you doing, right? And so one thing about me is that I hate excuses. Oh my. If you want to irk my nerves, I'm telling you, just give me an excuse, especially when it's like foolishness, right? So anyway, so, you go and you're like, bro, or whatever, sis, we're supposed to talk about this or do this or collaborate about this or brainstorm about this and blah, 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 whatever the case may be, right? And it's like, oh, yeah, such and such and such and such or so forth and so forth. And I'm looking like, you got to be kidding me, right? Like, are you serious right now? And so I made a decision, and I'm hoping that you would make a decision as well, right, that I'm not chasing people for their business. I'm not chasing people for their service or for their help. And what I mean by help, I'm talking about things that I'm paying for, right? I mean, if you could imagine how many ideas that run through my mind, and the first thing I always think about is collaboration. In comparison to individualization, I can do it. Oh my goodness, I can do it. But I believe in community, collaboration, sisterhood, that type of thing. But anyway, so yeah, like if you say you're going to do something within the time frame of you doing it, then do it. Right? Because if not, what you'll notice is that time will begin to elapse. I'm telling you, I can guarantee you. And before you know it, 5 years will pass, 6 years will pass, 7 years will pass, and you still haven't moved anywhere in the last 5 years. And that doesn't add up. That doesn't make any sense. So who can trust a walking, living, breathing contradiction? Can you be trusted to do what you say with no excuses and within the time frame you said you would do it? The problem is that we allow people, right? This is something that we allow, as I mentioned before. We allow people to give us these excuses, but it never really holds them accountable, as I mentioned last time, to their greatness. It doesn't hold them accountable to their integrity. It doesn't hold them accountable to the spirit of excellence that they can operate in. Rather, it's like, oh, I get it. It's okay. It's cool. And no, it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Not to say that we strive for perfection at all, by no means, right? But come on, after a while, like, you have to snap out of it. You have to do what you say that you're going to do within the time frame that you said you were going to do. So as you sit here and as you listen to me, right? Thank you so much for listening to me talk, by the way. But as you sit here, as you listen, what have you thought? Okay, great. What would you have to do? What would you have to amend? What would you have to adjust? What would you have to give up? What would you have to let go of? What would you have to change? What would you have to add, right? What are some of the things that you would have to do? Think about where you are today and think about where you are today. What are your actions saying? What is what you're doing? What is it saying about you? Is it saying, oh, stupid is as stupid does? Girl, let me tell you something. If someone had to describe you based on what you do, right, what would they say? I used to, I mean, I guess I still do it now, but there was a time where I had to really check myself about this as well, because there was a lot of things, or this image, if I can say, that I wanted to portray. Now, I know that I'm a woman of wisdom. I don't really question that. But there was a point in my life, like seriously, where I had to stop and say, wait, Sheba, hold on now. For a person, right, that has so much wisdom, why you keep making these foolish decisions? For a person that is, and I'm not even bragging, because I have nobody to impress. I mean, come on, stop it, right? But for a person that has so much intellect, why do you keep making these stupid decisions? I even had to check myself. I'm telling you, every single thing that I talk about, I have been there and I've done that. And that's the reason why I can say it so boldly with a shrug, like, hey, take it or leave it. Because I know, I'm not for everyone. I know everyone is like, some of the things I say is like, who should think she is? And I can answer the question, but I'm not going to answer it now, right? But Yeah, you can't brag about wisdom and being a queen and a woman of class and you act trashy. Like, come on, stop it. You know, you can't say that you're wise, but you continue to make foolish decisions. You can't say that you're disciplined, but you can't accomplish and you're not accomplishing the thing that you said that you're going to do. There's a discrepancy. You're a walking contradiction, and you cannot be trusted. So it reminds me of what people say, no one can judge me. And I want to tell you, of course they can, right? I don't care what people think of me. Of course you should. Not saying that you have to be crippled by it, but there should be a level of awareness of what do people say about me. Why? Because first impressions are first. I think I'm going to hashtag that. But first impressions are first, right? And not only are they first, but they're lasting. People will always remember who you are based on what you do, even more than what you say. And I thought about this because I had a friend, it was a couple, right? A couple who I was friends with, and there was some type of infidelity in their relationship, right? And one thing that I would never forget is that because I asked the woman, I'm like, how the heck were you able to forgive, sis? Like, really? This is ridiculous. I'm not going to, put their business out in the streets, but the situation was very hurtful and disappointing and so forth and so on. And what she told me was that, yes, whatever happened, but it was more so what he did after the fact that made it easy to forgive him. As I said before, people will always remember who you are based on what you do, even more so what you say. So his sorry was great. His confession was great. But what he did after that was what prompted, right, or what made forgiveness so easy, or what made them have the ability to rectify and reconcile their relationship. So you said this, but what did you do after? You didn't say this, but what did you do after? You made an unwise choice or decision, but what did you do after? You lied, but what did you do after? And you can, continue to give yourself examples. So that's my question, because seriously, I know in the movie Forrest Gump was portrayed to be an idiot and just clumsy and just, weird and all of these other attributes. But when homeboy said, stupid is as stupid does, again, that spoke volumes. Now, I don't want you to think, and as you probably already know, we're not measured by our mistakes. That's obvious, right? But we are, or we should be, measured based on our efforts or our ability to rectify them. Again, going back to what you do after sometimes, or sometimes what you do before, right? So, because I know I'm 3 minutes over, and usually I go over, but it's okay. So finally, I really, for real, I really want you to get this in your knowing, in your being, in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit, in your daily activity, in the things that's at the forefront of your mind, right? I really, really want you to close the gap between what you say, you do, or what you will do, and what you are actually doing. I really want you to close the gap, for real, for real. I want you to be a trusted woman, and some men who listen to Sheba Talks as well, so big up to you guys, right? But I really want you to be trusted as a woman to do what you say that you're going to do, with no excuses, unless it's life and death. And, let's not be extreme here, right? And to do it within the time frame that you said that you would. If you were to really sit back and listen to yourself, how much is excuses infiltrating your goals or procrastination? How much is it? Is it 50%? Is it 75%? If someone ever comes and challenges you to accountability, what is your first response? Is it excuses or is it taking ownership? I fell short. I forgot. I just didn't feel like doing it. I mean, let's be real, right? Think about it. How much is your speech infiltrated with excuses? How much is your goal infiltrated with excuses? Especially when you're held accountable to your own greatness, or you're held accountable to the things that you said that you were going to do. Because, as my dear friend Forrest Gump said so eloquently and so wisely, in spite of what people thought about him, right? Stupid is as stupid does. So thank you so much for listening to Sheba Talks. As I always say, please share the link as, I share it because, I'm not even going to guess. I know people need to hear it, right? So feel free to share it. I'm hoping that you were able to gain one thing that will cause you to reflect, but not only reflect, but to do, to move forward, to progress. Because I know this is what we've been placed on the earth to do, right? So I just have, let me think, maybe like 3, I guess, last-minute announcement things. The first one is that the next event will most likely be in the latter part of the year, even though we're like more than halfway through. But, yes, the latter part of the year as I, plan and figure and sort some things out. The next thing is that, of course, as you mentioned a few weeks ago, we have introduced the Ready, Set, Go 30-minute consultation calls. If you need a spark, some people say accountability partner, so forth and so on, for someone to kind of help you get on track as far as your goals, personal goals, professional goals, so forth and so on, this service is now available. For those who follow Sheba. And then the last thing is that Sheba Talks is actually going to take a break in August. So we're going to take a break in August. So I'm going to give you everything that I have in July. And then August, I'm going to take a break. And hopefully in September, we'll be back, right? If not, then definitely October. But I'll make that decision closer to the time. And so, as I said before, thank you so much for listening to Sheba Talks. I really, really hope that it's making an impact in your life. I'm hoping that you're able to share it with others. And just thank you, just really for being a support. I really, really appreciate, I really value, and I love each and every one of you. With that being said, peace.